Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Coffee Break, and welcome back to the CoffeeCast ProCast Edition, where today I am going to be bringing you another set of games from the IEM. Spawning on the top right-hand side, it is going to be the Obama Toss. We all know him. Some of us like him, some of us don't. Me. It is going to be the Red Protoss SKMC. Spawning on the lower left-hand side is going to be his opponent. He's become quite the titan of the Protoss race as of lately. Kind of like White Raw, except more effective in his play. Sorry, White Raw. I love you, man, but you're kind of the heart of the swarm guy right now. He won his last series that I casted versus Lucifron. It is going to be the unsigned player. It is Grubby. Now, you might have noticed with my interface, there is something a little bit different up at the top. I'm playing around with a couple of new things with XSplit. First of all, I did slightly lower quality settings, see if that does help improve the lag a little bit. I don't know if you notice, I'm actually on high graphics right now just to kind of see what would happen. And mainly because I completely forgot to change that. So hopefully I can handle that. I can play and stuff on high, it's just like when I try to stream, my computer does not like streaming on the higher graphics apparently. So we'll see what happens with that. Also, I have a little scoreboard up at the top, and I tried to do it so I didn't cover up the supply counts. I don't know if I did a very good job with that or not. It was actually kind of crappy to try to get that to fit properly and keep the supply counts there. So hopefully that works out for you guys. Also, I have this fun little thing where I can draw now, but I don't really plan on using that. Oops. There we go. I don't really plan on using that all that much. Until maybe during like replay analysis or something akin to that. I don't know. Maybe at the end of the game I'll go back to a big engagement and show splits or something by drawing on the screen. Mainly not because it's super helpful, but mainly because it's a lot of fun for me to do. I'm gonna be honest on that one. MC, I would like to note, still has not taken his second gas. Okay, taking it quite a bit later than Grubby, I suppose I should say. So the gas didn't come for Grubby, as we can already see, going to be spiking up much higher ahead. This probe being totally annoying in the main base there. Has been zapping away at varying probes of MC. Actually, I thought he was going to go into the probe line there and pretty much go to his immediate death, more likely than not. But no, just going to be microing around the Zealot all day. He could actually probably run 1 or 2 more laps around this little area until the star comes out. Oh, that probe. Oh my goodness. This is like Survivor Man probe or something. He is still alive somehow. I don't even understand how that works. Meanwhile, SMC still inside Grubby's base, but both players pretty much going to be seeing everything normal, humanly possible. I suppose there's nothing really interesting going on out of these bases, other than the fact that Grubby probably knows that MC is not doing some sort of crazy fast tech play, as that second gas was pretty freaking late coming out of Grubby. Or pardon me, coming out of MC. Oh, this probe! Run, probe, run! The stalker is faster than the probe, but only by a little bit. Oh, going to give up the chase. Grubby, you are a hero for saving that probe. Seriously, I cannot save probes in any matchup. I'm so bad at it. Especially in PvZ, they will always die. Do not be a probe in my army. That's like the worst thing you can do. It looks like MC is going to be opening up with a little bit of 3-gate aggression here. Interestingly, putting the chrono down on the gateway rather than on the warp gate technology. I don't know exactly why MC chose to do that. It seems like it does have his timing pretty well thought out here, though, as Warp Gate finishes up. These 2 gateways going to be finishing up very shortly after, and just going to be able to apply a little bit of pressure while more likely than not expanding behind it. Does have quite a few stalkers on the field for Grubby, though. Does manage to take out one of his opponent's stalker. Oh, does manage to lose one of his own stalkers to the Zealot, though. Needs to be careful not to lose any extra units, because he does have Warp Gate units being I suppose pumped out. I don't know if they're being chrono boosted quite yet. Nope, not chrono boost. Actually using the chrono boost on the probe, so once again just a little bit of pressure. Nothing too serious here, but only 1 warp gate actually on the field right now for Grubby. This hold actually might be a little bit difficult. Oh, but he does have this immortal out. He just needs to hold on for just a little bit longer. Fortunately, he does have all of his pylons really on this one little area here. Grubby now supply block, but once again that immortal pops out, and that is going to be the end of this aggression by MC, as there's absolutely no way for him to deal with that. A lot of sentries coming out onto the field. But that's not really going to do all that much for him. Grubby's pylon on the other side of the field now finished up as well, so we can put on a little bit of counter aggression, which wouldn't be able to do all that much damage, but might be able to pop in and you know, maybe deny the expansion for a little bit of time, and really just kind of maybe kind of punish MC a little bit for having units setting up a container on the other side of the map. I did see something warp in here. Zealot going to be actually running into the main base just to get a little bit of a scout off. Zealot and his sentry warping in. I'm actually kind of surprised Grubby decided to back out, as he could have gotten very invaluable. Oh, never mind. He saw the expansion, so he knows that there's nothing crazy going on over in MC's base, and he's going to respond by throwing down a robotics bay and probably going for a big one base timing here. While it is probably a little bit later than he would kind of want it to be, he does still have the advantage in the fact that MC is pumping out a 400 minerals into that nexus rather than spending it on tech and upgrades. And we can see he really does not have that much of an advantage in the probe count. So if Grubby can get some units out, and if Grubby can push out across the map and get a little bit of damage done, especially to the probe line of MC, or maybe take out the nexus, he will be in a very, very good position. And oh wow, the sentries actually being very effective here, just to literally force Grubby to stay inside his base at all costs. I mean, Grubby literally can't leave his base even though he wants to. Does manage to actually get one Zealot out? Okay, never mind. Zealot can actually get out. Oh wow, picking up the sentry there for pretty much free. Well, I guess he did lose that Zealot now. But, I mean, those are losses you don't necessarily need to take. I'm kind of surprised that MC let that happen, I suppose. It would have been very easy just to pull that back. Colossus coming onto the field now, which is going to stop any sort of further force fielding, as he can just run the Colossus down the ramp and break that down. Robotics bay now on the way for SKMC. Does have the expansion set up. Needs to start his next two gases fairly shortly here. Colossus breaking down that force field. And Grubby is on the prowl, moving out across the map. Does have that one immortal in the army as well, which makes himself very, very powerful versus MC's current composition, which is, I guess it was mainly Stalkers until this most recent round of Warpins. There's the scout by MC. He sees everything here. Keep in mind, he does still have this pylon in place. Grubby also does have a pylon out across the map. Grubby, might be able to pick off a sentry. Not quite. Does not want to run up the ramp. Oh, does actually kind of run up the ramp, and that's just not going to end well for Grubby. Now he just lost 3 Stalkers for absolutely free. I mean, he did a little bit of damage there. Going to be trying to run up this ramp. The Colossus is kind of in front. No extended thermal lance, which means that a lot of these units are going to get on top of him. The Zealots are stuck here at the top of the ramp, which means this Colossus is going to just have a heyday on those. So that's a lot of losses for MC there. He really cannot afford to lose those Zealots, as again, this Colossus is going to be super, super effective versus those. Oh, pushing up into the natural expansion now. One immortal on the field for both players. Grubby does not quite have as many Zealots, but once again, he does have that Colossus. Colossus for MC quite a ways away, pulling the probes off the line now. Again, these Zealots don't really seem to be doing all that much for MC, as a lot of times they seem to be caught on a move order trying to retreat rather than pushing into Grubby's army. If we look at the army value here, looks like Grubby is slightly taking a little bit of lead. That Colossus just about to come out. More Zealots being warped in for MC, cutting right on top of that army. Needs to get the Zealots of Grubby up on there as well. A nice force field going down, forcing back some of the Zealots away from the Stalkers and the sentries. A lot of force fields going down here, actually. Both players have plenty of force battling capabilities. Now the Colossus for MC is on the field. It's going to force Grubby to fall back at least a little bit. No, going to be continuing to engage. The Colossus actually very low on health. 2 more shots from that Immortal, and that is going to be game over for that Colossus, which would give Grubby the advantage there. But I don't know if he's going to quite be able to get on top of that. It's going to be kind of a close call here. I think MC is going to be able to push back Grubby in this case, though. Oh, that Colossus is so far up. He's so low on health. 22 health left. 1 more shot. Cannot afford to lose his own Colossus, but Grubby's Colossus does go down as well. And MC wins this engagement with quite a few Zealots left over. And we'll look over that. Oh, pardon me. If we look over the Harvester tab, though, Grubby is technically ahead on Harvesters, but was not able to take out his opponent's base, which is going to put him very, very far behind economically. And from here, I don't really know where Grubby should go. It looks like he might be planning on staying on one base for a little while longer here. I don't know if that's necessarily the option to take, though, as he has slowed down his opponent's economy quite a bit. He killed off a lot of workers in that engagement. 15 workers were killed by Grubby in that engagement, which means that he is actually ahead of MC right now, who is not reproducing any workers right now. I think it's actually just completely slipped his mind. Oh, he's going to get that pylon up in the back of the base. He actually managed to get the pylon up in the back of the base, but I don't think it's going to matter. Pardon me, as I think there are too many units here for MC. for Grubby to be able to safely warp in at that pylon. So he's just going to be continuing to warp in at the pylon to the north, going to be wrapping back around to this expansion here. Keep in mind, the one Colossus for MC still on the field. Grubby about to get a Colossus, a second Colossus of his own, actually. The second Colossus could be a very, very big deal, but by the time he got that out across the map, MC's second Colossus would be finished, and the third Colossus probably on the way as well. Grubby going for a lot higher of a stalker count, a zealot count for this next engagement. Needs to make sure not to fall behind that zealot count, but I think a couple of stalkers here wouldn't be amiss either, as there really aren't any archons to help supplement the zealots in this case. So I think an even number of zealots and then a couple extra stalkers try to start picking off Colossus. I don't know. This is kind of one of those iffy engagements where maybe I suppose just a lot of zealots and a lot of Colossus would be the best option. The split by MC right now, though, is just absolutely beautiful. Grubby back home, by the way, up onto 4 gateways right now to be able to quickly reinforce his army. And MC only on 3 gateways and a robo, surprisingly enough. If this extended thermal lance finishes, though, Grubby will pretty much lose any engagement. So the time is now for Grubby, and I think that he kind of knows it, getting ready to push in. Technically, he does have the higher unit producing value here, as he can warp in a little bit more, a few more instant reinforcements than his opponent. Oh my goodness, Grubby is just waiting so long here. He cannot afford to allow MC to take the Colossus advantage, and here we go. The time is now. The split once again, so good by MC. Grubby needs to find some sort of engagement angle here. Once again, the longer he waits, the more trouble he's going to be in. I believe this Colossus is going to be able to pop out before Grubby is really able to do anything. And also, keep in mind, there is still this forward pylon down here by MC. Grubby just now deciding to take that out. And, oh, by the way, there's also an observer following around Grubby's army, knowing exactly what's going on. It looks like we finally are getting split out of Grubby, which, once again, I think it means that now is the time. But MC has already gotten this third Colossus on the field. Is it a little bit too little, too late? Grubby pushing up the ramp. The Zealot's getting clubbed up pretty badly there. MC getting a couple of great volleys off before Grubby is able to engage there. One force shield goes down somewhere, I'm not even sure where, but these Colossus are just ripping everything apart for MC. But MC's gateway army is now vanishing. There is one immortal left on the field for MC, though, and that's a big deal. Managed to jump up, take out one more of MC's. Oh, these Colossus are actually kind of caught out on their own there. Grubby, though, not able to have the forces to really punch through the armor of MC. And once again, just falling further and further behind the longer he stays here, as MC finally starting to ramp up his economy at least a little bit here. But the longer he waits, the more Colossus MC gets on the field. Grubby, obviously, no expansion here. He can't continue to do one base for that much longer. He's running low on minerals. In fact, we saw that mineral patch disappear. This mineral patch disappears. And within the next minute or so, pretty much every single mineral patch in Grubby's main base is going to be gone. So maybe waiting to pull all his probes. But even then, there's so many Colossus on the field for MC. He's going to be up at 5 fairly shortly now. And he can literally just kind of, well, I guess long distance mining is the name of the game for Grubby. I can't help but feel that establishing a nexus earlier on might have been a slightly better option if this is what he's going to have to resort to in the end. Yeah, I don't really know what exactly Grubby's planning on this one. I mean, the supplies once again are somewhat even, but neither player has the immortal advantage, and MC just has a massive Colossus advantage. And Colossus versus Zealots, which is what Grubby has the advantage in, just not a great deal really to be in. I'm going to bring up this units tab here because the production tab really isn't showing all that much because the income for both players we can see very, very low. I mean, again, the split is good by Grubby here, and I guess now is the time once again. When we're trying to run up this ramp, his Zealots once again getting very, very clumped up, trying to get to the back of the army into the Colossus line, trying to focus fire down those Colossus actually, but the extended thermal lance is finished for MC, I believe. Yes, it is. And again, so many more Colossus on the field for MC. This time, it wasn't even a fight. Grubby gets destroyed single-handedly, and MC is going to win game number 1. And I believe this best of 3 series. So MC getting the base advantage early on, and apparently it proved to be just enough of an advantage because he just got a slightly higher income value, slightly got his Colossus out a little bit better. I mean, the only way Grubby really could have won that one if he had like proxy robot or something, so he could reinforce his Colossus faster. But he just let MC run away with that Colossus count. I don't know, maybe adding in a couple of Archons or something. I don't know. Once again, it's kind of an iffy situation. If we look over at the resources there, Grubby did have plenty of gas. But it was just kind of that was kind of a downhill slope there for Grubby. I really kind of felt there wasn't much of a way for him to recover throughout that game. I'm going to go on to game number 2 fairly shortly. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down in the section below. Also in the description you can find all sorts of information about where to find me. Facebook, Twitter, which I don't really use that much. Whatever. And yeah, I'm gonna go on to game number 2. If you liked the oh, it's not on this one. I was gonna say, if you liked this little scoreboard thing up here, which I can't really circle because I don't have the, I suppose I could put it on. If you like the scoreboard, just let me know, and that would be awesome. Totally awesome. Because I'm curious to see what you guys think of it. Of course, it will be updated so it says 1-0 or 0-1, I suppose, in MC's favor. And I'm gonna actually I'm gonna get the whiteboard going on this screen as well. So I'll be back, folks. Stick around, and until next time, this is Coffee Break signing out.